It happened April 20th. Let's see, I can find it here. 2 years prior. So
April.
stop sharing.
So
Oops.
roughly 2022.
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah, I just need to exit out of here. The exact date, let's see. It was April 20th, 2021.
Oh yeah, actually, I always forget the chat. Yeah, April. Thank you. So, okay, so they had a good amount of time. So this was never reported.
Well,
I would say,
according to
I would say,
Corbell, he got the witnesses came to him 2 days after the event. So they reached out to Corbell 2 days after the event, and he interviewed at least 2 of the witnesses 2 days after the event.
meaning April
22nd.
22nd, 2021. Now this is crucial because the topic at the time is almost at a fever pitch, right? Because the 2017 article comes out, right? Even though it is riddled with error, and it was an ATIP that got the money. It was ASAP, it was Bigelow, and then ATIP was a moniker used in the declassified setting. And it seems that Lou Elizondo may have taken over a program that didn't have any money. There was no money allocated to it, at least, or it had run out by then. But that's neither here nor there. But the subject was coming to a fever pitch in 2020. They did admit that the videos were authentic. The 3 videos, the gimbal, the go fast, and the Tic Tac. So at this time, it's still pretty stigmatized to report in the military in 2020 and 2021. The pandemic is happening. People are very, very distant, and it's a very weird time in the world. So I can understand at least why this went so long, or maybe wasn't reported right away.
Well, my basic thesis is that there was a cover up associated with this. So I think, yeah, I definitely think there was a major cover up associated with this. Just because I'm going back to the tweet from Susan Go. I'll go back to that. If you read it carefully, so so get the time right. So Corbell publishes a podcast, and within 24 hours, you can see she's alleging that she reached out to the 29 Palms Air Force, or the 29 Palms Marine Base, and found out that there was nothing happening on that range that night. So there was no record of communication with the base range control concerning UAP. So that means that she had to engage with a communication with the 29 Palms base and then get a response from 29 Palms. That kind of thing doesn't happen within 24 hours.
It doesn't happen within 24 hours. I can affirm that. There's absolutely no way that within 24 hours she was able to do that turnaround. So I wouldn't. I don't know if that is grounds to say it, that there's a cover up. I would just say that there was grounds for lack of just they just didn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, well, it would definitely. I think it would.
I would need more evidence.
It's suggestive of a possible cover up to me, at least.
Okay.
To me, it sounds like she was prepared for responding. So I guess I'll lay out my basic narrative of what I think happened, and then I'll go through the evidence. So I think there was a major sighting that night. I think there was at least 50 people who saw it, but we know that there was multiple locations on the base where people were filming it. So I would put the number of people who witnessed it upwards of 300. That's just an estimate. We know at least 50, but I would say in the hundreds. And it lasted, 35 minutes. It was freaking people out. They even
So
launched. Yeah, go ahead.
so in my research that I've done, even flares that are suspended, even if they're suspended by like parachutes, they're they kind of like act like a hot air balloon, but even those ones don't fly for more than what I saw. Like they don't stay lit and burned for any longer than 10 to 20 minutes. Like that was the max I could find.
I found that they usually go from between 3 and 7 minutes. That's a typical range for a parachute flare. 20 minutes,
Okay.
it seems like I would be curious to see that, because that seems like
Well,
pushing it pretty far too.
I was being very generous because from what the longest I really did see was 10 seconds, but I would say that DARPA has some crazy ass technology somewhere that could probably suspend and have a flare that burns a little longer. Um, you know, I guarantee that they have some crazy stuff, some crazy technology that is on a shelf somewhere. So I would say that the longest flare would because you wouldn't need it for any longer than that. You wouldn't need it to burn any longer than that.
Yeah, and if you're talking about some other technology other than a parachute with something heavy hanging off of it, and you're talking about some sort of novel unknown technology. Basically, flares are pretty simple. They've been doing the same thing for
Yeah,
probably 100 years.
they're not a complicated tool. So sometimes they deploy them in a way that will like throw like enemy rocket fire off and like that, it's it's cool. But again, these things are they're a very simple technology. They don't sustain flight, especially in a direct line like that. They're way more chaotic in the way that they look when they come down. The
Right.
military tried to reproduce this multiple times to the people in Phoenix when the event happened in '97, and they every single time they failed.
Yeah, and that's an important comparison, the Phoenix Lights to this case, because according to my research, the Phoenix Lights, there was actually this V-shaped craft that like flew over that large area, and people were like looking up at it. The governor of the state actually witnessed it, and then in the immediate response to that, the theory is that they went out and launched some flares as a
Yes.
distraction to get everyone saying, "Oh, look, there's some flares." So now everything that everyone saw that night was flares.
Yeah, it was almost them like as it was a counter intel.
It
Like,
was a cover-up operation.
yeah, and again, see that is evidence for now if you could prove to me that they did that, if they went up and launched flares after, so that's when I would say, okay, maybe you got something with some sort of uh cover up happening. But as of right now, I'm going to stick with incompetence.
Okay. Well, why don't we go through kind of
Yeah.
maybe some of the videos and kind of
Yeah,
get everyone kind of educated on this?
yeah, do you have them in your presentation?
They're not embedded into the slides, so I would have to bring it up through Twitter, which I can do. Um,
Yeah, so and it's one thing for and I like I said, I think a very good comparison case to this is the Phoenix Lights. It's almost like it was a daytime version of the Phoenix Lights. It's missing one point of one. I think Phoenix Lights had six orbs rather than this one. This is a picture of it I have saved. So this is what I have. This is all I have, at least handy. I have your thread as well.
okay. So we can kind of bring up, this is video one.
All right, 1 second. Ooh, wait a second. This is a video. All right, good.
Yeah, I'll play it. Let's see. Here we are.
What is?
Okay. So there's a total of 5 videos. Video 1. Video 2. Here we go.
Oh yeah, okay.
Those are not aluminum rounds because aluminum rounds fall.
See, so they're saying it in the video.
And nobody shoots in a 5-gun section.
No, you can see like an outline of something.
So
Yeah, that's a quick.
can you pause it real quick?
Yeah, I paused it.
All right. So I just want to go on the record here, and we all know this. Every single person in the world, at least that has a smartphone, knows that when you point your smartphone at something, even in the night sky, your eyes are so much better at seeing what the object is versus what we're seeing here. We've all had this problem. Like even if you go to take a picture of the moon, it comes out as a it looks like a Chris Bledsoe orb floating through the pic, in the picture, even with the iPhone 15. That the Samsung Galaxy, I mean, that's all AI. It enhances the picture, so you're not getting an actual picture of the moon. So that they're seeing structure to this, and they're literally stating it at the time.
Yeah, he said an outline. He says I can see an outline.
Yeah. So this thing does. I wonder what they estimate that what the altitude of this thing was.
Well, they did. That's a good question because I don't think Jeremy ever asked the witnesses how high up it was, or
that
how
would be
far
like my third question.
Or how far. But it would be an estimate. But yeah, I don't think we know that.
Is this something like that you can see with our eyes? Like, because there are certain things in the night sky that if they're low enough, you see some detail of them, right? We have very good sight, as humans. Not great, not the best, but like we can make things out in the night sky if it's especially in an area out there like that, where the night sky is a little bit more open.
Yeah, I think that it was quite close just from my analysis that I've done. I think it was quite close to the base. The reason I say that is because from different angles from video, the shape of the craft changes. So if it was really far away, it wouldn't change in configuration if you moved, 200 yards to the left. It would still have the same shape. But in the videos I'll go through, you'll actually be able to see that the shape changes from different locations, meaning it was probably pretty close.
All right, you can continue it.
Okay, we'll go through all these videos. This is video 2.
Moving.
Take me to your leader. Oh hell no. Yo, we got aliens out here, dog.
My phone camera says.
Yo, this is fucking weird.
We got UFOs outside.
Yo, everyone's out here.
They're saying everybody's out here.
Those are not aluminum rounds because aluminum rounds fall.
Okay.
So, but okay, I just want to again reiterate that they're literally in the video saying that they're not aluminum rounds, which are the flares that would drop. He's literally saying they can't be. They would never shoot them in that 5 motion, that formation, and they would be falling. They wouldn't be maintaining at their elevation.
Exactly. They would fall pretty fast,
pretty quickly, and they would
7
look
minutes.
crazy.
I think that's the upper limit that I've seen from typical flares. But I mean, of course, there might be some weird ones that I haven't learned about. But that's the general, 3 to 7 minutes for a flare, and it falls pretty fast. And you know what you're, I'm sure they know what they're seeing.
Right.
Okay.
Continue.
Video 3.
Yo, I'm about to be one of those crazy old